Yeah, well, try doing that, you mangy mutt. Hey, welcome back. Let's talk about 5 things that you should carry with you every day and one thing that you might want to consider. Okay, in no particular order, let's get into it. One thing we should carry with us every day is a pen. The main reason you want to carry a pen with you every day is because people are nasty and they're not washing their hands. I'm just telling you, that's the main reason to carry your own pen. Don't pick up the pen at a restaurant and don't pick up a pen at the bank. For goodness sakes, don't ever pick up a pen at a doctor's office. Not only are they nasty, they're not washing their hands, but they're sick. So have your own pen. Have your own pen. Another thing we should have with us every day is paper. Of course, if you've got a pen, it's always helpful to have something to write on. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be an expensive notebook or something that's really big and cumbersome to carry. It could be something that can slip in your pocket, like a field notes or a ripoff of field notes. Or it could be a moleskin, and with just a little bit of imagination, you can come up with your own system for keeping yourself organized, but it doesn't have to be that complicated. My dad would just keep a piece of paper folded up in his pocket, and he would use it to write down notes, to do math problems. This was before cell phones and calculators, to make little estimates of a job he was about to do or a material list for a job he was about to do. You can take a piece of paper, quarter it, and then fold it over one more time, and that gives you 16 little pieces of paper. So you've made your own little notebook. And that's really handy. And you can just slide that in your pocket with any cheap pen, and that's really effective and really, really a powerful thing. A piece of paper and a pen will increase your working memory. It's really difficult for anybody to remember and keep more than, if you can keep 10 items in your brain in working memory, not things that you've dedicated to even short-term or intermediate or long-term memory, but just in your working memory, things that you're needing to keep right in your mind right now. If you can remember more than 10 things, you're doing really, really good. I can't. So working memory is just things that you need to have on hand right now, and then you're going to forget about it. Well, write it down on a piece of paper, and it won't stress your brain out. It's like magnifying your brain power with a piece of paper. 16 little pieces of paper for a to-do list. That's 2 weeks on a sheet of paper. That's pretty cool. Another thing we should have with us every day is a pocket knife. And of course, a pocket knife, useful for cutting things. You already knew that. But a pocket knife is more than just that. It can be a lifelong companion. My grandfather and my father both had knives that were with them throughout their adult life. And this was their constant companion. It was with them. They used it for cutting little things, cutting string, cutting paper, cutting cord, cutting whatever. And they show a lifetime of wear, and they tell a story. They tell a story of my dad, and it's pocket worn, but it didn't come from the factory pocket worn like they do nowadays. It was pocket worn. He always had it with him. And my grandfather, same thing. They always had a pocket knife, one pocket knife with them their whole life. I know today with the internet and Google and online shopping, we can get a little carried away. But our dads and grandfathers probably just had a knife that they carried. And I'm very fortunate to have my fathers and my grandfathers, and they mean so much to me. So a pocket knife is more than just a pocket knife. It is a utility item that becomes a constant companion, something that you have in your pocket every day. Every day we should have a flashlight with us. Not this, this. Your flashlight needs to be something that you're willing to carry every day. A little keychain flashlight. These can be really powerful nowadays. Even one as small as this. This is a night core tube. It is 55 lumens and very bright for what it is. Really good for not just nighttime, but even during the daytime for looking in the floorboard of your car. If you drop something underneath the couch, if you lose something underneath there, and just lighting up the dark corners is really helpful. They come in all kinds of different sizes and power ratings, lumens, just a little tiny flashlights now. They've got tremendous power compared to what we had just, a decade ago. Something just really simple that can drop into your pocket, or if you need something more powerful, something that can really get out there in the dark. And they can also come with beacons and strobes and all kinds of things. So there's all kinds of features that come with modern flashlights nowadays. And they're very handy and I think essential, considering just how light you can get away with having a decent flashlight with you without a lot of weight and really without a lot of cost nowadays. The prices really come down and they're quite affordable and extremely useful. And every day we should have a multi-tool. And there are lots of options for multi-tools too. Be something as tiny as this little Victorinox SD Classic, little Swiss Army knife. This is the Trash Panda from Smoky Mountain Knives. I think this was an exclusive. Now this has scissors, a knife, a little file, and a little screwdriver. So, useful little thing. You could do some scraping, a little prying, not much, but something like that. It's got tweezers, and it's got a toothpick. Go up in size a little bit to something like a Gerber dime, and then you start getting into little pliers, which are good for pinching and pulling. And of course, it's got a little screwdriver in there. Not a good one, but it's got one in there. It's got scissors, not good scissors, but it's got scissors. They work. They work fine. But after you've used Victorinox scissors, then you get spoiled. These are really nice scissors. These not so much. Of course, it's got a bottle cap lifter. It has to, or it's not a multi-tool, apparently. Tweezers, which, they're okay. And, it's got the usual kind of stuff. But the point is to have something that you can kind of scrape and pry with. Not heavy duty, but, just a little bit everyday little annoyances that you can use your multi-tool to, take care of. You could do some prying with that, a little more prying, not a lot. I wouldn't, mess up your tool, but you could do it. Of course, scissors, I wouldn't have a multi-tool unless it had a good pair of scissors because I have a beard. And they come in more useful often than the knife that's on the multi-tool. Although the knife that is on a Swiss Army knife is quite good and sharp. Not sure what kind of steel that is. It's stainless steel. And all kinds of different models. Toothpick to get spinach out of your teeth. Tweezers for all your tweezing needs. And it's got this one has a really good three-dimensional Phillips head and a good flathead screwdriver. My two favorite of these are the Swiss Champ, which got everything on it. I've done a video on that, if you want to see it. I've done a video on all these. And this is the Tinker Deluxe. I've been carrying that a lot lately. And I carry them with this little pocket suspension clip. Hangs inside my pocket, and you never know it's there. Forget about it. Or you could go up to like a Leatherman or whatever this is, Gerber, or I think that is an Ozark Trail. Leatherman makes a ton of these, and this probably weighs about as much as the Swiss Champ, but the Swiss Champ has more utility to it. This is the Sidekick, I think. Yes, Sidekick. And it has a saw, a little saw, which I find to be really helpful if you're walking around your home and you see a limb that needs to be cut. You can just go ahead and take care of it now. And that, I think, is the point of a multi-tool. If you walk by a door in your house and the doorknob is loose, go ahead and tighten that screw. You don't have to, look around for a screwdriver. You've got one in your pocket. If you're walking out in your yard and you see some shrubbery that needs taken care of, you've got a little saw in your pocket. Even has a little magnifying glass, which comes in a lot handier than you might think. So that is my number 5, a multi-tool. And the bonus item that you might want to consider, a lighter. So even if you don't smoke, a lighter can be really useful. It's useful to melt the ends of a frayed nylon or waxed thread. So on a shoe or some leather work or anything that has some kind of waxed or nylon thread, it's a great way to keep that from fraying any further and melt it down instead of having to cut it as close as you can. If you cut it really close, it's just going to go through the hole of whatever it's sewn into and continue to unravel. Also, any kind of nylon elastic or webbing, if you cut it, you can melt the end of it like paracord, and it will not fray any further. Also, you may want to start a fire or need to start a fire or want to light a candle or light someone's cigarette. So even if you don't smoke, you may be able to help someone else smoke. I don't know if that's a good reason or not. Also, human beings are the only species on planet Earth who has mastered fire. So if you're walking your dog and you trip over your own 2 feet and your dog starts rolling his eyes at you, you know how they are. Well, you can just take the lighter out of your pocket and say, yeah, well, try doing that, you mangy mutt.